Well, good morning, everyone. How you doing? Hope you're getting ready to enjoy your weekend, Mother's Day weekend. Get out and enjoy the time with your moms. And like to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day, all the mothers out there. Today we're going to be doing another Bible study. Going to be in Daniel chapter 3, and we're going to use verse 1. And to kind of give a reference point to what we're going to be talking about. And we're going to be talking about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego today. King Nebuchadnezzar, he built a golden image, and he made plans for everybody to worship this golden image. And it says here, let me start off here with chapter 3 verse 1. It says, Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold, whose height was 60 cubits and the breadth was 6 cubits. He had set it up in the plains of Dura in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king set together the princes, the governors, the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the province to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. So that's the basis for what we're going to be talking about. He'd set this image up. He had planned for everyone to get together. They's going to have a party, and they's going to worship this golden image that he had built. He was proud of it. He's so proud that he wanted folks to get together and have a good old time. Well, let's go down here to Daniel 3 and 8. This is where we get into the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It says, wherefore at the time certain Chaldees came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said unto King Nebuchadnezzar, O king that lives forever, thou, O king, hast made decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet and the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the plethra, the dulcimer, and all kinds of music, shall fall down and worship the golden image. Whosoever falls not down and worship, they shall be cast in the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews who that set over the affairs of thy providence of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They have not served thy God, and not worshipped the golden image which thou hast set up. So here's Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and they're not about to participate in the dedication of this image. They're not going to worship his God. And so 13 says that Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and they brought these men before the king. And that Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, did not ye serve my gods? Now I want you to notice that it says gods. You see that little G there? Well, that's a whole nother God. That ain't the big G that we serve. That's his little G's. Nor worship the golden image which I set up. Now here, he's questioning them. You didn't get with the program. You didn't fall down and worship my God. So 15, he says, Now if thou be ready, at what time ye hear the sounds of the cornet and the flute and the sackbut and the dulcimer and all kind of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. So he's going to give them a second chance to get down and get with the program and get to serving his God. But if thou worship not, ye shall be cast in the same hour, in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? Notice the big G. That big G is Jehovah. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said unto the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this manner. If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace. He'll deliver us out of thy hands, O king. So they got all kind of faith in God that's going to deliver them out of this fiery furnace. And then Nebuchadnezzar, full of fury, and the form of his visa was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it would to be heated. They're going to really get this thing hot, more than it had ever been. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and cast them into the fiery furnace. And then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garment, and cast into the midst of the fiery furnace. So Nebuchadnezzar followed through on what he said he was going to do. And 22 goes on to say that it even slew the men that put them in that fiery furnace. And it's so hot it killed the men that was in there. So Nebuchadnezzar, 24 says, Nebuchadnezzar was astonished and rose up in haste and spake and said unto the counselors, Did we not cast 3 men bound in the midst of the fire? And they answered him, saying, He answered and said unto the king, True, O king. So Nebuchadnezzar's got a problem. He's answering, Did we not put 3 men in there? And he goes on to say, in 25, he answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire. They have no hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. I don't think it'd take anybody long to figure out who that is. That's Jesus. He showed up there, and he showed up there and showed his might and power by saving Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And 27 says, And the captain, the prince, and the captain, and the king, and the counselor began gathering together, saw these men upon whose body in the fire had no power or was and hair or hands singed, nor the coat, nor smelt of fire that passed them. There's no harm came to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They didn't even smell like the smoke. It's things that were with them that was in that fire. That goes to show you that if you put your trust in God, you put your trust in Jesus Christ, you can go through the fiery furnace and the fires of this life and the turmoil and troubles, and Jesus will see you through. He says he'll go with us even unto the end of the world. So he went with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into that fire and brought them out of that furnace without even smelling like smoke. And that's the power of Jesus. That's the power of God. Put your faith in God today. No matter what you're going through in life, He will see you through. That's going to be my little message for today. Let me check through here, make sure you done covered everything. Well, it's the fiery furnace, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out of it doing real well. and went on to serve God with all their might, soul, and strength. And that's what we're to do today, is serve Him with everything we got, mind, soul, and strength. Keep our faith in Jesus Christ today, and everything will be all right. That's going to be the end of my message for today. I hope everyone has a blessed and a wonderful weekend. If you have any prayer requests or any comment, leave them in the comment section below. I'll be more than glad to get back to you. Until the next time we talk, I hope you have a blessed and a wonderful weekend.